Welcome back to the No Extra Life video game podcast. We are your co-hosts Josh and James, and
Yeah.
this is episode 3. We made it to episode 3, and
Yes.
this is unscripted. We ask each other the questions at that moment and don't know what we're asking, except for maybe one topic we've asked once before that we're going to continue on answering in the top 5 question. But so welcome to this. This is totally unscripted, and so what's up, James?
Yeah, man. Yeah. Yep.
So we're ready to do this. Okay, this is
Oh
episode
yeah.
3.
Let's go do it. Yep.
And we encourage you guys as we ask these questions to each other. If you want to answer your version in the comments, this is on YouTube. Like, comment, and subscribe, and please spread the word on this. More people need to hear this because most podcasts aren't doing it this way. We are doing it our own way, and it's good. If you're a gamer, you'll dig it. All right, so I am going to go to James. My first question, I'm going to ask you, what game did you ever play? What game made you feel emotionally sick while you were playing it? Not emotionally sick. I'm talking about emotionally sick. Like, oh my god, you know. So that's my question to you.
Emotionally sick. You talk like actually like
Yeah,
got
like I'm
a
not a good person,
reaction.
man. This is not. This is. I don't feel right. Like I'm doing this, but I again, I'm not. I don't feel good about it.
Oh man. God, I mean I guess you could go with first thing that really comes to my head, maybe Fallout 3, for example. That one right there. I mean, blowing up the town and stuff and everything. With that part, you're like, man, you're like, should I do it? Should I not do it? You know, and I would probably have to go with that one, honestly. And then, but if you're talking about straight just emotion and stuff like that, and then I would obviously have to pick something else. But off of your parameters right there, yeah, that's what I would go with.
Okay, so like blowing up Negaton, and you felt pretty guilty and everything for that, right?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, a lot of the choices. I mean, it's like you got two choices. You're like, should I do this? Should I not do this? And especially, they give you a lot of different options and stuff to do. But
Okay,
man, you're
that's
like,
interesting. I
you
mean,
know,
I'm so there's so many choices. I mean, I didn't know if you were gonna say Manhunt. I didn't know if you were gonna say, like, for me, mine was Spec Ops: The Line. Spec Ops: The Line was absolutely. It seems like it's just a basic third-person shooter, and it is, but the means of moral decisions and what you got to do in that game. I mean, the fact is, the guy you're trying to bring down, but by the time the game is over, you've done 10 times worse than what that guy's done just to bring him down. And it's like, in the game, even in the loading screen, says remember, you are a good person. So it's very psychological. Like, wow, man, you have this decision or this, and both of them are terrible. The ones that you got to make. You know what I mean? What are you going to do? And so no other game. It's kind of like there's a book, Conrad's Heart of Darkness, and it's kind of like got the same kind of feel to it, but it was very psychological. Whether it was the white phosphorus scene or whatever, you like just one point you bring down white phosphorus and there's a bunch of troops, burning. Do you shoot them or do you let
yeah,
them burn? You know what I'm saying? It's like it's one of those things where it's like, wow, pushing you way beyond your morality things. Like there's one point these guys went rogue, the damn 33rd they're called, and they're in where is it? But Dubai, right? So you got to go in and take them out and save the civilians. But they're in there, and then suddenly they just became rogue against anybody America. So they send in your squad to take them out. And you hear this guy talking about, you got to stick a gum. They're like watching the perimeter. He goes, yeah, my daughter, dude. I just talked to her the other day. You got to kill him. I mean, you're going to sneak up and knife him right in the throat and take that guy away from her, from the daughter from her dad, and that's fucked up. It is beyond messed up. So yeah, I don't know if you've played it, but Spec Ops: The
oh,
Line, I can
absolutely. Oh
only
yeah, yeah. I actually
that to
have that on
me was
several
very
different things.
emotional, very emotionally sick.
Yeah,
I felt like when I'm playing it, these
yeah,
decisions I'm making, this is not. No, yours was a good choice. I mean, Fallout was, like I
yeah,
said, Blown Up Megaton was a little more, but this was a little more like kind of. You
yeah.
can hear
Definitely. Yeah,
Norland
after
North is the
you.
main guy, and you can hear him as he goes on. You can hear him getting just way more fatigued in his voice, and just like starts out, just but now you can see he's like stepping over the line. That's why it's called The Line, Spec Ops: The Line, and
Yeah, actually,
by the time it's
yeah, I
over,
have. Yeah.
That ending was
Yeah.
insane, dude. That ending
Yes.
was
Holy
just
shit.
a
Yes.
mind fuck. Seriously, I'm just gonna say it like that. So yeah, that would be that. That's ours. I thought that was a really good question. So emotionally sick for you, it's Fallout 3. For me, it's a Spec Ops: The Line. I recommend
Yeah.
both of those games if you've never played them
Oh,
for sure.
absolutely. 100%.
So
Yeah. I mean, that's I have that. I
yep,
have Spec Ops Line. I have it on PS3. I have it on PC. So yeah. So yeah, I definitely know. Like, yeah, it definitely gives you a false sense. You start playing, you're like, man, okay. You get near the end,
yep,
you're like, oh my God.
yeah. What you've been through at the end, it is just like God. You've gone through purgatory, hell, and then deeper hell, and then the worst hell. So it's like, good Lord, yeah. You never go back up. You never become good again. That's for sure. You never ever can
Yes.
redeem yourself. There's no redemption. And the funny thing is, like, all you were trying to do is stop this colonel and his rogue group, but you end up being 10 times worse than he was from what you do. In trying to do the good, you did the worst. It's just unbelievable. So yeah, we totally recommend that. All right, James, you are on with the next question. Fire away.
All right. Well, this is just a really good one. All right. So, what's a game you would love to be made? Would love that you would love to get made. That's not already in the works or anything like that. And the kind of a little two-parter. And what would it look like?
Hmm. You mean okay? So it's not in existence, or
Yeah, yeah, like it's not coming out. It's not in like the pipeline. Like, like say for instance, like my choice, would have been before this whole thing would have been Hellraiser, for example.
oh
Would
yeah,
love to
okay,
see the
okay,
Hellraiser game.
okay. You want to go into
Yeah,
that? I'll say
oh,
yeah.
now you,
Nightmare on Elm Street game. You could be Freddy Krueger, and you can just like you could be the carpet. Somebody walks over you, and then you just bring the claws out and stab him because Freddy could do anything in the dream world. And Robert Englund would voice this. He could nail it, man. I mean, his voice, he still got it. You know what I'm saying? So why have? I mean, they're doing a Halloween game. They doing a Hellraiser. Dude, you're just one site from that. Somebody's got to be thinking at New Line or wherever. We got to do a Nightmare on Elm Street video game. Seriously, even if it is you could be Freddy Krueger. I'd kill bots if you could be like all his dream ways to kill him and stuff, inventive, that to me would be insanely awesome because Robert Englund could still voice the character. He doesn't have to do any stunts or anything. He is Freddy Krueger. So you imagine, like I said, like you could disguise yourself as a carpet and one of the bots or
yep,
people in the dream and you're invading their dream walks across you and you goes ha like the claws come out and the hand comes out and stabs him right through that'd
yes,
be sick, dude. I'm serious. There you
yes,
go. That would be mine. And I've been thinking about that actually. I said, when are they getting to Freddy, dude? I mean, we've got Hellraiser, we've got Jason, we got Michael Myers. Now where's our Nightmare on Elm Street game? Let's go. Freddy, I mean, Robert Englund will voice that in a second, and it'll be true to form. You know what I'm saying? It'd be awesome.
yeah,
You could take from Dream Warriors. You can do a whole bunch of different, nightmare movies and just throw them into different stages, just like they did with all the different, you know, Jasons and Friday the 13th in the game. That was awesome. Every single Jason from every movie, except for Uber Jason, which they were going to do. Then the licensing crap happened. Let's not even go into that, which shut the game down. But yeah, that would be mine. Yeah. So what would yours be? That was a good question.
all
Thank you.
right. Yeah, yeah, because I got thinking, much like you, actually, my first initial thought was actually the Friday the 13th, not Friday, the Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh
That was
man, we
my
were going to
first
match.
initial thought.
Okay.
But no, but I changed it. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go with this one because this would be really cool. A Child's Play game. Think about that.
They
You
had
roaming
one in
around.
the works. They were actually Kickstarter funding it I saw it like about 3, 4 years ago. So
Yeah,
yeah,
they
there
got how
was.
cool that would be.
Yep.
How cool that be, because I mean,
You know what?
yeah,
I
you're
see it. It
small.
seems like it's in the pipeline now because if we got, look, we got what did we get? We got Jason first, then we got
Yep.
Leatherface, we got Texas Chainsaw Massacre, then
Yep.
we got Michael Myers, now Hellraiser. Dude, the only two are left really is Chucky and Freddy. Come on, the ones who
Yes,
talk the most, the ones who
exactly.
joke the most, and yeah,
Yeah.
I think that would be
And
great.
just think, you could hide, you could set all the traps and everything. They have
Yeah, there was
so
one
much
where the guy
stuff you
opens the
could work
cupboard and
with
he,
it.
he jumps down, hits this knife, and it goes all the way down his chest and opens him up. I was
Yep.
like, that's
I
sick,
mean,
dude.
and you could
And
hide
Brad Dourif could do the
anywhere.
voice. I mean, you could get the voices from
Yes.
the actual characters. Now with Jason and Michael, it's just breathing, or
Yeah.
all that. But that's it. That's all you get from them. But because they're silent killers. But anyway, yes, That's good. That's great that both of ours focused on horror on that one. We did not plan that, but yes, I think that's a great choice. In fact, they did try,
Yeah,
like I said, they tried to crowdfund a Chucky game, but I think now that was like 4 or 5 years ago. I saw that on Kickstarter. So now you've had the Chucky series come out, in USA. I
yes.
think there's a bigger Chucky fan base than ever right now. This would be the game to put out. Absolutely, I would agree with you on that. Good choice on that
Yeah,
for sure.
and they're going to come with
Yep.
Nightmare on Elm Street movie.
Oh,
So
I'm worried
I mean
about
we
that.
don't know
Let's
how.
not. We're not going to talk horror
Yes,
movies on
yeah,
this
we're not
one,
going to
like I
talk
said.
about
But
that. Yeah,
it's
but
that's a
yeah,
different thing. We're talking games here. But yes, there will
yeah,
be our October podcast will totally be full of horror and our favorite horror video games and all this other stuff. Really good trivia stuff like that, whatever. But that's a couple months away. But no, that was a great choice, Chucky, and mine's Freddy. And I really those need to happen. They really do. And make it a single player component, please. You can make some multiplayer in there, but make sure there's a campaign. They're doing it with Halloween, and Hellraiser is a full ass single player game, so great. You know what I'm saying? Bully for them. That's terrific. Okay.
yes. I can't wait.
Exactly.
All right.
All right. Moving on to the next question. Okay, now this is just, we're about halfway through the year as far as starting from December. What, in your opinion, would you say would be your top games so far this year that you played? Like, right now, I mean, I'm not talking about game of the year, but I'm just like, dude, it was definitely the best thing that held my interest, just something new, fresh, whatever. So, what would be
Yeah,
your top game of the year? Would
yeah.
you say
And
so far?
okay, so for me, right now, as in like games I've played this year, the top one right now. I haven't I already know what yours is gonna be, and I'm not gonna say anything, but mine is obviously it's got to be Resident Evil Requiem right now. I mean I've gone through it twice. I mean I for
Oh, yeah,
me to
most
go
people go
right
3 times by now. Yeah, it's
back, yeah, but for me going through a game, I mean like I like it. Then I'll move on to something else. Like, you know, but when I really like it, I will go right back through it immediately because everything's fresh, so you still have kind of everything still in your head. So I immediately went right back into it and jumped back in and played the classic mode, and yeah, it was great. I mean, if they had put the demo out when before the game came out, honestly, I
yeah,
would
that's
have
a big
bought the game.
mistake. I mean, they usually always put a demo out, and I'm like I said, but I knew,
Yeah, it was like they should have did that. But anyways, no. After I played the demo, I'm like, oh my God, I have to go buy this game now. I mean, I was like, and wait
Capcom
a little
usually
bit.
never fails to disappoint. They work on something and they give the fan service as well with Leon, and Leon was badass in this. I'm not gonna lie, I liked him better in this
Yes,
than I did in Resident Evil 6 for real. Yeah, so
yes,
it's funny now. Well, both Capcom games here. This is going to be interesting because, yes, mine is
yes,
Pragmata. Pragmata to me, what's interesting about it was a full turnaround. When I first saw that, first I thought it was gonna be something like Vanquish. No, then I said, oh, it's gonna be like Death Stranding. No, it's not like either. But I remember they showed it and then they delayed it for like indefinitely for like 2 years. I'm like, oh shoot. I said I kind of wanted to see what that was about. But the idea of having the girl on your back, Diana, who can actually hack. You can't really harm your enemies before you hack them. You have to hack them and make them vulnerable. I'm like, so you want me to do a puzzle game while trying to shoot? This is stupid. But then I played the demo and it all just clicked. Either Capcom knew that was like that demo was so good, it turned me around. I played it 3 times. I said, dude, if I play a demo 3 times, plus they were smart in giving you a different skin when you replayed it. Also, you had a new weapon that you could use, so that's another reason to go back in and try that new, you know, weapon or hack or whatever that you didn't have the first time to show you what that finished product is going to be like. And yeah, they won me over. And not only did I buy it, I played right through it. Then the second time, they have another variation of it that you play, and you can go back and you have to find everything. You have to 100% find all the objects, and that's they give you a good map on how to find your collectibles and what you're looking for and stuff. But again, there was such a great story to it. The connection of Hugh and Diana, and how no spoilers, but she was an AI from another human person who passed on, and that's why she was so relatable as a human, as a little girl. And some people said, oh, daddy issues, or it's a pedo game. You're an idiot. I'm sorry, you're a fucking idiot, because it had nothing to do with that. And then somebody's like, oh, it make me want to have kids. Well, if it takes a game to make you won't have a kid, you're an idiot. I'm just gonna say that right now. For me, yes, there were things where you wanted to interact with her, and she would give you pictures to hang up. Like, oh, this girl, are developing a bond with her, because you would be dead if it weren't for her out there hacking. Doing multiple hacks of these robots that want to just send you right to the grave. And so to me, that, yeah, Pragmata was definitely, I loved Resident Evil 9, but we've done that. We've been there, we've done that, we know the whole thing. Pragmata gave you something different. It was almost like Lone Wolf and Cub, the kid riding on the back of the aggressor and helping him out, kind of. And it reminded me of that in a sense. But the spacewalking on the moon, the zero gravity, boosting your jetpack and zero G and fighting outside on the moon, that was great. It's fantastic. It's a great game. And I don't know, as far as originality, it wins for Game of the Year. Everything else I'm going to play, I'm looking forward to playing. Whether it's Gears E-Day, that might be my Game of the Year. It probably will be, to be honest. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a big Gears
Yeah, I
fan.
think it's. I think
So
that's gonna be
far, it's
your game of
Pragmata,
the
and so
year.
far, yeah, we're saying so far. So that was, like I said.
Yes,
Um, Again,
but
we
yeah,
encourage all you guys to write in the comments. Please just briefly say what our question was. Bang, give us your answer, because we do read the comments, and we might even give you guys some shout outs on the next podcast, which will be, this one is this, like I said, we're in number 3. This is episode 3. This is for August 1st, and then we'll do another one for the 15th. We do bi-monthly, so yeah, just check in and tell your friends to check in. All right, so that was mine. Okay, you are next, James. Hit it.
alrighty, cool. This is a question actually. Kind of stole it from another video, but we're not going to give the same responses that he gave. I saw it was cool. I was like, yeah, we got to answer this one. All right, let's say you were to walk into a video game store with somebody, right? They've never in their life, they're an adult, okay? So you don't have to limit to, what game you should get them or system, whatever. All right. And they tell you, said, all right, I want you to pick me out one system and one game for it. What are you picking? Money is not an issue.
Yeah, but they've never.
So
You say they've never played one video game in their life, and this would be their
yeah, yeah,
introduction to
yeah,
video
yeah, yeah,
games as
yeah.
is.
Yeah.
Wow,
We're saying
that
hypothetically, this person's
that's
never touched a video game
okay,
before. What are you picking them? Now you see why I
man.
stole it, right? It's
Yeah,
a
I
good
I get it.
question.
We don't normally, yeah, we don't do that, but that is a pretty hot button question. Um, Man, that's okay. Off top hand, the one thing, it's really weird because I don't play games like this anymore, and I don't play Nintendo at all. Last thing I bought was a Nintendo 64, and that was it. But I would say Nintendo 64 and Mario 64. That is a great game to start
Okay,
somebody out,
good. That's a good
because
one.
it teaches the physics of how to work a 3D camera. Your analog stick, like Nintendo were one of the first ones to do this. They pulled this off when PlayStation. I mean, their 3D. How this thing was on a cartridge. How Mario 64 was on a cartridge. You got to be kidding me. I can't believe it, because the graphics to this day, the music, everything was like, how is this not on a DVD like PlayStation had, DVDs? And I'm like, no, Nintendo managed to put it on a cartridge, the whole damn game. And I'm like, wow. So, yeah, I think I wouldn't start them out on the blood and guts and the seriousness of things. Mario is addictive as hell. Getting those stars is addictive. Going back into the same map, but having a different challenge every time to unlock another star, it's great. It's really good fun. And doing all 120 is a bitch. I did it. Yoshi's on the roof gives you 100 lives more to just mess around in the game. And the Bowser fights were amazing, swinging him into the mines and stuff. That was fantastic. Nintendo was really on fire with that game. So I would say, yeah, if you're going to introduce somebody to a game, Mario is one of the best persons to introduce him to. And I mean, you know what I play now. There's no way. But
Yes.
if it was the first thing, you don't want to give him Manhunt. You don't want to give him,
Yeah.
Half-Life 2. You got to be, you got to know shooters and stuff like that. I mean, Mario does not shoot. It's a very, um, you know, non-violent game, but it's just the magic that Nintendo still had back then, in my opinion. There was a magic to their games, whether it was Mario World or whether Super Mario World or Mario 3 or whatever. They always seemed to do something that was not really a gimmick. It was advanced gameplay. Shigeru Miyamoto is a genius. I mean, the guy is he made Super Mario Brothers, then he made Super Mario 2, and well, he took it from another game, but what he worked into it made it 2, and then 3. Just dude, the guy was amazing. But Mario is definitely, yeah, I'd say just get an N64 and Mario 64 to start you out. That would be because they'd be like, wow, this is amazing. Yeah. So there you go. That's mine.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna go with mine. Mine is I'm actually gonna go back a little bit from yours, which I was thinking about the N64. I'm like, no, no, no. I would say the Super Nintendo and Super Mario World. I mean, like it's always kind of between Super Mario Brothers 3 and Mario World, but I'm like, you know what, Super Mario World, there's plenty to do in the game. There's plenty to explore. And it's not, and this think about it, it's not so many buttons. That's what kind of got me with thinking about the N64. My N64 has had quite a bit more buttons, and maybe somebody can't grasp that, but with the Super Nintendo controller, all the buttons are at your fingertips. There's no moving it around, so that's what I got to think about too. And then Super Mario World, like I said, is that's an amazing game, and then to have him, her, or whoever, have them trying to find all the little secrets and find all the secret passages in different ways. You could play the game and then the Star Worlds and just there's so much there for them to do.
Yeah, I
So
agree. It was really extensive, and I mean, like, I remember when I bought, you got this. It was $200. Bought my Super Nintendo, brought it home, and it came with. Thank God it came with Super Mario. That wouldn't these
Mario,
days. They don't even
yes.
give you a game these days. It's ridiculous.
I
But that
know.
was definitely a killer app. As far as a killer game to sell back in with it. That's interesting how we both answered Mario, isn't it? Because we play
Yeah.
some serious brutal shit now. I mean, like I said, but
Yes. Oh yeah.
everybody grew up with Mario. Before it was
Exactly.
violence and I mean we wanted adult games because we're adults now. Mario was like that Mario, was it Galaxy or Odyssey? I'm not
Yeah.
into that at all. Him
Yeah.
turning into an
No.
elephant and crap. No, Mario was just Mario in this game. You notice
Yeah.
that in Mario
Which
64, you
actually,
never had any
actually
helmets
the
or anything. You just stayed. Well,
yeah.
actually, no, you did turn into liquid metal. Sorry, I was wrong about that.
Yes.
There were a couple forms, but it wasn't like excessive. You know what I'm saying? There were just certain points you need to get through an area, sink to the bottom, or like become invisible Mario and warp through the walls or something like that. But they really maintained just the core Mario feel of it, and that's so. Isn't that interesting? We asked both
Yeah.
Mario. Huh? That
Yeah.
that's cool. Again, we had
Yeah.
no idea that was going to match, and they were both Mario games. Wow, go figure. So
Yeah.
yeah, that is a good one. Okay, now we're gonna go. I got a really interesting. This is a discussion question. Do
All
you
right.
know the first bosses? Okay, you can't have a game today, single player game, without a boss. You always have to have a boss at the end. What was the first game, do you think, that introduced the boss structure in games that we know today? An end boss at the end of every level or something like that.
Trying to think what would be the because I wouldn't
I looked it up. I was
say
pretty sure I knew what it was, and I looked up and said, "Yep, I was right." But I just want to see if you got to just throw out a guess or whatever. But bosses are, you
I'm
got to
gonna
have a boss in a
guess.
game. If you're like, can you imagine getting to the end?
Yeah.
There's no boss. Come on. No, there's
Yeah,
got
I
to
know.
be
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
somebody waiting to.
Like I like I want to say Super Mario Brothers technically. I mean,
No,
but also it could be the Legend of Zelda.
nope.
Uh,
No,
okay,
it
all
was
right.
Kung Fu Master, dude. Kung Fu Master.
Oh,
IRM did it, and I mean, some people could say there was a samurai game. It was over in Japan. It wasn't really in America. But Kung Fu Master was, remember, at the end of each level, to go up the stairs to the next level, there was a boss waiting for you. First guy was a stick
oh,
guy,
you're
then the boomerang
right.
guy, fat guy, magician on the fourth, and finally Mr. X. But that's from Game of Death, from Bruce Lee. That movie started the whole boss thing when you think about it. Because remember, he had to walk up each flight, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was waiting for him in one part. Every time he had to beat the nunchuck guy, it was just like, yes, there's always somebody waiting for you at the end. Now, yes, I know there were several games before that. Like there was a Dungeons and Dragons game that was out where there was just one boss. It was the dragon. We're talking about in games today. Going to the end of a level and having an end boss waiting for you. This was the game that really started it. Was Kung Fu Master, and then it was ported. Nintendo bought the rights, you know, from IRM and made it Kung Fu, and then they
Yep.
sold it for, and that's where you played. Everybody played Kung Fu more than Kung Fu Master in the arcades, but it was a great idea. But yes, that's where we get our bosses from.
Okay.
Isn't that crazy? But it makes sense.
Yeah.
But Game of Death
Yeah.
is the movie that inspired the whole thing. There's somebody waiting for you at the end of the room to go up to the next level of the stairs, and bang, there you go. So I thought that would be an interesting discussion question. Where did the
Yeah.
end boss on every level that we play today, waiting for you at the end of a game, or a level of stage, whatever, that's where it came from. So I thought that was the discussion question. So you go, hit it again. You're next on questions. That's
All right. Cool. All right. Here we go. All right. Now, what game would you like to be made into a movie or a TV show? I mean, it doesn't matter. You could say either one that you think this IP would fit the best into.
oh man, I like to see Manhunt made into an actual movie. That'd
Oh
be
my
insane.
God.
Did we agree on this? So did we actually match?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
guys, this was not planned, but yes, there was just too much, just
Okay,
interest in
so
the
you know what?
gangs and
So
just the
wait,
whole
wait, wait,
yeah.
wait. So I'm actually all right. So I'm actually gonna go my backup one then. All
Oh,
right,
okay, all
because I
right. You
was
go.
going.
Okay, so, for
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
I'm
So
gonna say
I'm
Manhunt
gonna. Okay, I'll let
because,
you
like I
have
said, the
this one.
gangs were so variety and interesting from the hoods to the skins to whatever. It was just like and the fact that this guy, he's not an innocent. This James Earl Cash. I mean,
Real
he
cash.
killed.
Yep.
He was the death sentence, but he's saved by Starkweather, the director, to be filmed in a set of snuff films, so he can survive against him. He gets let go. He'll be free. He can run from Carcer City cops or whatever. But this was a very risky game for them to release, and but yeah, Manhunt to me has always been an amazing IP, and they've never brought it back because two was such a controversial thing on the Wii because you could do the actual motions of the executions, and you know, was it? Yeah, it was the Wii, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
Yes, it was the Wii.
and
Yeah, they were all
you
tripping
could
out
do
about
the
the Wii when.
motions of the executions, which you don't do on control. You just hold the button in and then get the execution. So
Yeah.
it really, yeah, it's a shame we never got another Manhunt. But I still think there have been a couple of, I think, YouTube kind of, you know, YouTube videos, fan film versions of it. But I want to see like a actual, budget, $1 million budget Manhunt would be amazing because Manhunt was such a good story to it, and how he tracks the director down to his mansion and Pig Sea and all that. Man, that would be
Yeah.
insane, dude. I mean, and it was pretty darn. It was damn controversial for its time, but it would be a great movie. So, all right, what is your backup? Go ahead.
Cool.
You hit
All
next year.
right. So like I said, I originally I was going with that, and but I was torn between these two, and I was like, all right, I was like, all right, I'll go with this. Honestly, I didn't think you were gonna go for that one, but all right. I mean, but I'm going my backup one. My back one's Enslaved Odyssey to the West, and make
Wow.
that they could make it could be either one. It could be a movie or it could be a
Well,
TV show.
it is. It is. What is it? Oh man, what's the name of it, man? The Monkey King. The whole thing that's been done before in all these different. There have been several movies on it, but not how Odyssey did it. They did it with robots,
Exactly.
and they did it with Andy Serkis did the best New York act. You couldn't even tell that was Gollum. That's the guy
Yep.
who he's directed a new Gollum film and he does Gollum's voice and everything. He does a great New York accent. You couldn't even tell it was him. And him and Trip, the girl, that relationship between the
Yep.
two, that would translate very well into. I
Exactly.
remember, I remember playing. I'm
Into a
like, this is. By the way, play that game if you've never played
yes.
Odyssey. What is it? Journey to the West, right?
Yeah,
One
Odyssey,
of Ninja Theory's best games.
enslaved to
Seriously,
the
fantastic.
West. Yeah.
Slave to the West, and fantastic, great acting, and yes, it would make a great film. Absolutely, I agree with that. That's a very good choice. Yeah. Okay, I like this backup idea where we don't match again because we did with Ninja Gaiden the last episode. So that was good though, but that was well deserved. You're not going to find a better ending on an NES game. There's
Yeah.
no way.
Yes.
Anyway, going back to that, if you want to go back, go and listen to it in episode 2. We talk about that, and yeah, we're rolling along pretty good here. We're deep into it. Um, I think okay now okay, so I'm next, right? So now we're gonna go
Yes.
into our
You're
top
next.
5 video games of all time. You don't even just so you don't have to go back and listen to episode 1. You should anyway, because they're all damn good questions. But mine was one of my top 5 games of all time was Half-Life 2, and yours was
Yes. Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Yeah, okay, there we go. So those are our first shows. Now we're going to be doing this since we do it bi-monthly. It'll be once a month. The second one of each month, we will reveal each one. So we're going to do this up till November. We'll answer our top five. So for August here, I would say God of War 2. That was
Very good.
absolutely
Uh,
phenomenal effort by Corey Barlog, who went and then somehow for me screwed it up with God of War 2018. I didn't like Atreus. I didn't like the Norse setting. I didn't like him being a father. Whatever. Judge what you want. But you go back to God of War 2, that was absolute epic gaming. And it came out when after the 360, it was one of the last games to come out on the PlayStation 2. But it was good because they could squeeze every amount of drop of power and graphical fidelity they needed to do that. They didn't know how to do the PS3 yet. They just didn't. Cell processor, they had no freaking clue what they were doing. So it was smart that they put it on PS2. But I mean, it made me stop playing my 360 for a week when it came out. I just could not get enough of God of War 2 because not only Perseus from Clash of the Titans, which I saw when I was a kid, love that movie, the original Clash of the Titans, not the new CGI crap. That's terrible. Go watch the original. But there was so much. There was Pegasus, which was a game in itself where you land and fly, and you're fighting the harpies and the guys who jump down on your. It was just crazy. That was a game in itself from God of War 2. But all the bosses, man, the amount of bosses in that game were just insane. I mean, at the end, the
oh yes.
Kraken, they could have. I'm surprised they didn't cut some, but they said they almost didn't cut any bosses at all, and I'm like, I believe it. It was
Wow.
just
Yeah.
so beautiful. The game looks beautiful, even though it's still a fixed camera. You know, they had more control over the camera to show you what they wanted to show you. Where you had a better, fighting Icarus, gaining his wings, getting the golden fleece from Jason, who gets eaten by, that was just insane. They were using stuff you're familiar with in Greek mythology. Of course, they're supposed to. This is where it's set. But I'm just saying, using the golden fleece to reflect an attack back. When somebody fires a ball out at you and fireball reflects it back at them, that was brilliant. So yeah, the acting was on par, just amazing. I think that T.C. Carson, who is Kratos, he'll always be my Kratos. I'm sorry.
Yes. Oh
Um,
yeah. Absolutely.
he just knocked it out of the park. Where he was a little more, it's almost like David Hayter did in Metal Gear. He had the voice, but he didn't have it where he was going to, really refine it and have it as the final Snake voice until Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3, really. But, you know, Kratos stepped up in 2 and really became, they made him a god, and then he gets reduced down. They always make you a god with your powers. And that first Colossus of Rhodes fight was amazing. Just everything was just so. That's a 10 out of 10 for me, man. That game really has
Yes.
no flaws
Definitely
to it.
for sure.
That there's very rare times where you could say that, where like, oh, they're jaggies, or the graphics suffered this one point, or this drags along at this one point. Everything in that game was just epic, where it should be. You know, the music was up to another level, and there was, oh, if I remember right, there was one guy they cut, Hercules, was Cam Clark was playing him, and that's the guy who does, Leonardo and the Snake, Liquid Snake. He was going to
Oh
be
yeah.
Hercules,
Yeah.
but luckily they went and got Kevin Sorbo, the real Hercules, who used to play in the series for 3. That was a smart move to move him over to 3. But otherwise, no, that game is just chef's kiss. Absolutely, that is one of my favorite video games of all time. Every time I play it, I'm like, and I try not to play it like once every maybe 3 or 4 years, because when you're ready, you starve yourself for it, and then it's like, wow, there's a reason why I really give this one of my top 5 of all time. Yeah, so there you go. So that's mine. What's
Yeah,
yours?
that was yeah, it was definitely a good choice. But yeah, no, and then they HD'd it up for the PS3. I platinum that one. I platinum all of them. But
Oh yeah,
you know,
man.
anyways, getting on to mine. Mine, you're not gonna be able to talk about, but me. But this is definitely one of my favorite games of all time. Is the best wrestling game. Well, we one of the two. Anyways, but no, WWF No Mercy for the N64. So THQ took what they did on the WCW games, right? They were just straight up just fun. they were just fun arcadey style games. The controls were very easy, very simple to figure out, where anybody could sit down and play it. I mean, people who there weren't even wrestling fans were sitting down and playing these games. And and the THQ, they starting out with the WCW license, and they did the World Tour, they did Revenge, and then I don't know how WWF at the time got them, but they got them to start doing their games for the N64, where you had we had WrestleMania 2000, and did No Mercy. They just expanded everything on it.
And all the roster was there, like the whole damn roster.
Oh,
I mean, like,
yes, everybody you could think of. Um, there was no you had to earn your money in there to unlock these different characters. If you wanted to, you could play as one of the Godfather's hoes, all right? That was one of the unlockable people, okay, if you wanted to. But they had a great story mode to it. Like I said, this it was just straight. It was just fun. It's not like the wrestling games are now. And yeah, and I enjoy playing the wrestling games of now, but it's just so simplistic, so scaled back. And then you also create your own wrestler in there too. And it was just they expanded on everything. And you ask almost everybody will say this is the best wrestling game of all time.
ranks up there. And then, man, then PlayStation could copy it with all, like, the entrance, real entrance music and everything, and because you could do that on a DVD, the sound you'd think
Yeah.
would be better and everything. But they PlayStation couldn't even top it, huh? It was just
No,
N64.
no, no, no. This
Okay.
this this is exclusive to this
Oh, okay.
N64.
All right.
This is exclusive to that.
Cool.
I mean, eventually they started doing the SmackDown games on PlayStation, which were similar, but there's just something about the
Never top that, huh?
just
Okay.
no, it just something about that. Now yes, they got as close. If you were to hear the entrance songs, you would know what they are.
Oh yeah.
Given it doesn't sound as good as maybe what it would be on if it was on the PlayStation, but no, and just the N64's controller, with having that joystick right there in the center. So what you could do that's what kind of like your taunts, or you do your special with that and stuff. So the N64 had the right amount of buttons for it.
Cool.
So
And
that's
then, yeah,
another
that's
factor
okay. So
too.
there's yours. Yeah. Then
Yeah.
you'll hear our next one next month in September. Like I said, but those two, like I said, yeah, it's Half Life 2 and God of War 2. Funny how it's just twos, man. Wow. Like, I never thought of that, but I'm like, wow, it's two in the name, both two, one of the two top five games. Right there, you go. There's always numbers in the games for some reason, but yeah, I mean, for me, but yeah, no, that's an interesting choice. I didn't think I've played wrestling games before, but like I said, not on the N64. And
Yeah,
like
see,
you
there
said,
you
this
go.
would
If you
be,
if you had play if
yeah,
you had played that, you would be like, "Oh my God, this is awesome. This is."
yeah. I have to pull out the old N64. I mean, it's in a bag somewhere, but like I said,
And I
I don't
still
use
got, I still
emulators and
got,
stuff. Yeah,
I still have it. I still have it too.
yeah,
So
that's good. Probably worth some money now too, like physical.
no,
All
no,
right, now
no,
here's
no.
this is another discussion question. We're gonna talk about
Okay,
Game Pass. All right, we're both
all right.
Xbox fans. We use Xbox pretty much 100%. If you use Sony, that's fine. I think PS Plus is crap compared to Game Pass, but the whole thing is they started it and, like, would it be sustainable? You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, here's the thing. My question is, do you think Game Pass is better for the players, us, than for the industry? Because I know there's so many games that came on Game Pass I would have bought to play, but it's on Game Pass. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna buy it. It's part of my subscription. My subscription service. So you think that hurts the industry by us not buying games as much? We're saving money, actually. I mean, we are saving money, and we're getting day ones, boom, right across the board. What I mean? Like I said, if it weren't for Game Pass, I would have never played Densha Attack. And Densha, let me tell you guys right now, that is my newest addiction. Densha Attack is awesome. You just play a freaking subway rail car zipping through this just at lightning speed, avoiding obstacles, and you will crash. It does happen, but they're nice enough to give you checkpoints past every 10th obstacle or whatever. So it is insanely fast. The music's awesome. It's a great little surprise I would have never tried out if it weren't for Game Pass. I just don't play games like that. But when you've no risk, you might as well try it
exactly.
and see how it is. And That's the important thing. So Dench Attack was I could have never played it. There were so many games, but Game Pass. Do you think it hurts the industry more? I mean, it
You
can't
know,
help it when you're
and
getting all these other games you would have paid for, to support Microsoft. Microsoft gives you Call of Duty. Well, they recently gave us Call of Duty for free on Game Pass
yeah.
and stuff. Where I would have never bought. I'm so glad I didn't buy Black Ops 7. So they should unmake that game. I'm going to say that right now. It was terrible. You never played it. I warned you. I said, don't even
I
try it. It's not even
downloaded
worth
it.
it, dude.
I no joke.
Don't
I
even
mean, I
waste your time.
downloaded it, and you're just
It was
like,
terrible.
don't even try it. I'm like,
I mean, the
yeah,
campaign
okay,
was just
delete.
utter crap. It was just unbelievable. But in the point of where Game Pass has given us so much, as far as subscribers, but yet as it hurt the industry as a whole because we didn't buy those games, and that money we saved doesn't support those the publishers or the game makers. Some of them go out of business. You know, you and I both played what was it? What was that Abyss game? The whatever it was, the Abyss game where it was like almost kind of like
Oh,
what is I forget what it's called. Boy, I'm on the spot here. I don't know what
I
it's
don't
called.
remember the name of it right now,
Well,
but
it was a
yeah,
cool game. I mean, but again, the whole team got laid off the first week after it dropped on Game Pass, and people were playing. They weren't buying it; they were playing it on Game Pass. And I'm like, they worked 6 years on this game, and there were parts of it I liked. There were parts that I think went on too long, but
yeah,
I played through it. I didn't hate it. Hate it. I mean, I got most of the achievements on it. But I just feel bad for a team to not get a second chance. And like, is it our fault because it was on Game Pass? Nobody bought it. This team didn't get a chance. They all got fired, man. They all got let go. And it wasn't a bad game. I mean, now if it was Call of Duty 7, like Black Ops 7, those guys need to be fired. That was terrible. Nobody wanted that crap. I don't know why they thought they did, but it just is what it is. But so, what do you think? I mean, do you think it hurts the industry? I mean,
I mean, in some ways, in some ways, yeah, it does. But then in some ways, like you're pointing out, like, there's games where we both would have never played it in a million years, and then we're like, oh my
yeah.
God, this game's awesome. Now, I don't know about you, but I have bought like a few games that I played on Game Pass. Like, I bought them. I'm
Well,
like,
after when
I
they
you
go
know
off
what?
Game Pass, they give you a discount and like, oh yeah, I'm not
Yeah,
gonna. I bought like I mean the first play was it Plague Tale Requiem. Loved it, but I said it's not going off Game Pass for like 2 years. Once it goes off, and when it went off, I bought it. You better believe. I said because I'm ready to
yeah.
play it again. It's like, but
Or oh, like
yeah.
the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh,
That's another
that was one of
example
their
where we both did.
biggest
Yeah,
successes that they did was Texas Chainsaw, because I was skeptical on it, but the first night I played it for
yeah,
6 hours and learned how to be a family member more than a victim, and you learn where your niche is, where you fit in and how to play it. And then I was, we then you bought it and our friend bought it, and then we played as a family, and it was
yeah,
great, dude. We had a good time with that. Um, I
yeah.
almost
And
wish they would have
there's
done
a
it with
couple of
Halloween.
games
I
like
mean, they'd
I
probably get more players,
yeah,
but the thing is, are people going to not buy enough of it? And then they're going to let go of the team, and it's going to, so it's a double edged sword. I mean, it's good for us and good for the industry in some cases, and then it's bad because we don't buy games like we used to. But that's part of our subscription service, and it's way better than PlayStation. Don't get no day one drops. I'm telling you that.
yeah,
You know that's the thing. And when whatever coming up, there's several really good games coming out in August, like the Plague Tale sequel, Resonance, whatever it is. That looks awesome, and I'll definitely be
yeah,
playing that day one. I'm not gonna buy it. What is
yeah.
it? Beast of Incarnation. That thing looks
Yes.
insane, man. And
Yep.
it's day
Oh yeah.
one on Game Pass.
I will be playing it day one.
Yeah, I will
Absolutely.
try that myself. It's by guys who made Pokemon games, and they're trying to do a thing where I'm like more like a Souls experience, kind of like
Yeah.
was it like Neo or something like
W-
that? But you're a girl and you
Yeah.
have a dog, and you can. It's crazy. It looks crazy, crazy.
It looks
I
good.
hope it's
Yeah.
not hard. You know what I mean? But the games like that, like Wolong and stuff, are meant to be hard. And I hope there's a nice entrance fee where you can walk in and kind of enjoy it. It's like a medium difficulty. You know what I'm saying? Like with Onimusha, we know Onimusha is not going to be a Souls like. It is a straight hack and slash. You know what I mean? By playing the demo, we all know what it's going to be. Like I said, but they definitely need to make some changes to that, in my opinion. But
What I really think they should do, right, is they should say, all right, they should go back to doing like, okay, like like they had like the Xbox Live, gold thing, where you got your own line, and then they gave
yeah.
you, your games every month, right?
Well,
But then
yeah,
they
that
should
was
have But
Yeah.
here, all right, but here's what they should do, right? This would be really good, kind of compromise with it. Is you can download any game, doesn't
Mhm.
matter, right? Download any game, but you get like, let's say, like an hour and a half with it.
Oh,
You
well, that's
get your
what
hour and
PS
a half
Plus
with
does. They do
it.
trials and stuff like that, and then they pull it out
Yeah,
the rug out from under you.
and then
Yeah.
lower the price, be like, let's say like, 15 bucks a month or something like that, or maybe a little bit cheaper. I don't think you could do $10 a month anymore,
Right.
but but maybe like 15 bucks a month, and you could get your little trial of any game, and if you like it, you
Yeah.
can, you buy it, or hey, I didn't like it, so I'm just gonna just boom. Or Steam is really good about, like, hey,
We'll
if
have
you
that at
played a
Project
game for
Helix another couple
under.
years. Yeah, we'll have that
Yeah,
on
yeah, yeah.
Xbox, so that'll be great. Yeah. Yeah.
So cool thing about them is that I know you got a refund from Microsoft from one of your games, but Steam is really good about that. I
No, you
mean,
can play
you
for
just
two
you
hours, achievements or whatever, but
yes,
you get one achievement on they'll no refund. That's it. You're done. And like, I
yeah,
mean, so you better
exactly.
make
See, with
sure. Yeah.
so with Steam, they'll just I
Yeah.
they'll give you a refund
All
on
right.
it, because
Okay,
I
I'm checking
mean
time. I
I've
think
got
we're
one.
right around. Yeah, we're around the 45-minute mark now. So that is going to wrap it for this one, guys. We hope you enjoyed our questions, and feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Please comment to our questions if you want to answer them. Uh, we keep asking the questions. A lot of people don't. I mean, nobody's like top five. You gotta be kidding me. Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, we again, we don't know what we're asking before we ask it, so this is all entertaining to us as well, because it's like, we gotta have an answer, and we're not gonna, you can't think for 10 minutes either, so it's like, but yeah, we as to the other thing me and James do, we're in a heavy metal band. We're called When Evil Calls. We're signed on Chronoplast Records. We'll put the links, you can copy and paste whatever up in the information spot underneath the video if you want to check out our music. It's good. It's very good. Definitely check us out and patronize us that way, because we're not going to be doing any Patreon on this show for a while. What we need more than anything. If you've dug what you've heard and you find this a different format and you like it, please spread the word to any gamers you know to check this out. Just subscribe to us. We appreciate it. We're doing this out of the benefit of, because nobody else. We want to try and fill a thing in the genre where nobody is doing what we're doing as far as the questions we're asking and the approach and what we're doing it. So, but we hope you've enjoyed the show. Yeah, this was episode 3, and we are
Yeah.
going to be signing off. We will see you mid-August. This will tide you over from the 1st to the middle of August, and we will have more questions. Can't wait to get to the October stuff. I wish we could, but
Yes.
that's going to
Oh
be
yeah,
the real
definitely.
good stuff. But yeah,
Oh
the
yeah.
right now, yeah, we'll have a list of other questions and other discussion questions and stuff. But as far as we consider Game Pass, yeah, I like it. I'm sticking with it,
Oh,
especially as they
absolutely.
drop their price. There's some really
I've,
good stuff
I've
coming in
I've been
August.
with it. I've been
Yeah,
with it. I've been with since like day one. I mean, obviously well, for me, there are a bunch of games I've never
yeah.
played before. But for
The
you,
funny thing
you're
is,
like,
yeah,
oh yeah,
we're
there's
not just Xbox shills. We love PS2. I mean, if our top games are not all, they're not all Xbox, of course. We talk a lot about PS2 games, and that was probably the best
yeah,
generation of PlayStation, in my opinion. PS1, PS2, PS3. It kind of started getting a little more focused on story, narration, whatever. But we're not gonna go. We'll go into that another time. Till then, this is Josh,
yep,
and
and James.
yep, and we are just to remind you, like in the video game world, please be careful, because unlike the video game world, you get no extra life. We're out of here. We will see you next podcast. See ya.